So what wonderful words that person has said. A person who goes to jail is not a useless person. He has something inside him. So it's not the jail, it's the reason why you have gone inside there. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. We who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. They were outlaws because they were fighting against the apartheid, they were put into jail. So today they were outlaws for such a long time, and today they have been given to the chance to rule the nation on their own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having to take position, having come to take position with the people of our country of what is after all a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discriminations. Never, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. Beautiful. The sun shall never set on a glorious human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. See the powerful statement he is giving. Never, never and never again shall it be this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. He is not threatening, he is not abusing, but his language is showing his power inside him. The sun shall never set on a glorious human achievement. Means the sun will never go down, it will never go in darkness. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. My God, it's giving me goosebumps. As a few moments later we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, troop carriers rode in perfect formation over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of military's loyalty to the democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. They were paying respect to the government. Only moments before the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would have not saluted me but arrested me. Okay, finally a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke, in the V shape when they fly together. An Impala of jets let a smoke of trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of new South African flag. The color of the flag was shown on the sky with the jet smoke. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our own national anthems and the visions of whites singing Nkosi Sikelel, E Africa, and blacks singing Tistem, the old anthem of the Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. There were two national anthems playing. The day was symbolized for me by playing of our two national anthems. One was singing by the whites and one was singing by the blacks. But now neither of the groups know the lyrics, but now they'll come to know what is this all about. What is this freedom all about? On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with the sense of history. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after a bitter Anglo-Boer war, and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up the difference and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned people of their own land. The structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhumane societies the world has ever known. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century and my own eighth decade as a man, the system has been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognizes the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. You just can't imagine what type of situation it was at that time. How blacks were treated. They were treated like dogs, even worse than dogs. If you see the movie, it's called Roots. There's a movie, it's called Roots, in where these slaves are being shown, the blacks, how they are treated. It's a wonderful movie. It's a very long time ago movie. Roots, I had seen it during my black and white television days. It's a wonderful movie. Then I have few movies where, but we have to see if children can watch it or not, because it's very tough, torturing, how they were used, abused, how they were treated. This one was there. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices. During the French Revolution also, if you are not mistaken, if I am not mistaken, if you are not forgotten, they were used as slaves also from South Africa, Egypt. People were taken into France for slaving. And then the slavery also stopped, abolition of that stuff. But that's after a long time. But long before this was there, they were treated like that. So, the day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them, and they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. Okay. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect. And that was that it produced the Oliver Tambus, the Walter Sinsulas, the Chief Ruthilus, the Yusuf Dados, the Bram Fishers, the Robert Sobukwes of our time. Men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom and generosity that they may never be known again. Perhaps it requires such depth of oppression to create such heights of character. My country is rich in minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest of diamonds. That's really true. South Africa's got diamonds, South Africa's got diamond mines, gold mines, but the people are also really very good. Blacks have got that heart inside them. Black Americans, South Africans, they are very down to earth. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learned the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attacks and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. One of his beautiful quotes. Courage was not the absence of fear, it was the triumph over the fear is called courage. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. When I was in the military, I'll keep it till here today. Okay. So when I was in the military, I never used a gun before. I never knew how to use a gun. I thought going to the military will be good fun, catching gun, shooting practice and all that. But I never knew that sometime or the other, I've heard that, I read it in newspapers, I heard news that people are killed, military shoot people. Sometimes killing another person also takes guts, You're killing someone. I have also killed so many. I had to shoot. So many people have died at my hand also. I was in the military. I had to fight for my country. Obviously, they are my enemies. Are for my enemies for my country. I'll not tolerate. But at the end of the day, we are killing. Right? Manslaughter is happening. So just imagine the feeling. Your friend is dying, and you are not, and you achieve something, and you take over a place, and everything is done. But that person fought for that reason, and he is not there today. So those are those feelings, it really happens when you're truly. And fighting, you must have courage. Courage is not, I can go at 12 o'clock in the night, I'll go, no problem. Not that, I'm not scared of anything. That's not scared. Courage is not a person who does not feel care, who comes over that fear. I can say a lot of things in front of me. I'm not scared nothing, but when the time will come to go, I'll think, oh my God, where's my people gone? No one is there with me. So that's what he's wanting to say. It's not about the brave man is not he who does not feel afraid. That's not a brave man, but he who conquers that fear. Everyone is scared of everything in life. Today we are not scared of our parents. Today we are not scared of our teachers. Today we are not scared of police. Today we are not scared of the system. What will happen? It will go in turmoil. Right? Think about it. I hope this creates some good feeling inside you about this person you are reading about. And it's going to take time to finish, but it's a huge topic to discuss on. So, see you in the next class. Take care of yourselves. Be safe, stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye, and do whatever you want after your studies. Bye bye.